It's March, and the question I've heard more than any other is this: should I buy a house in 2025 or should I wait another few years? First of all, the best time to buy a house is when you are ready and when it works for your particular case. That being said, there are seasonal factors to consider that could help you financially. As a real estate agent here in the greater Seattle area for over 6 years, I'm going to walk you through historical trends to keep in mind when looking to buy or sell, the cost of waiting, and I'm going to break down the math on what it looks like to buy a house at a higher rate versus waiting a few years to buy at a lower rate. And ultimately, I'll give you my take on whether you should buy a house in 2025. If you're curious about moving to this area or looking to sell, all my contact information is in the description and I would love to help. Historically, spring has the highest inventory amounts, but also has the highest competition. This is a double-edged sword because you're more likely to find a house that you love, but there's also a higher chance of multiple offers and escalations, meaning you may have to pay more. The spring market is typically February through May, but it does vary regionally. Here in the general Seattle area, we saw an early start to the spring market. I had a listing go live early February and we received multiple offers in 48 hours. As they say, spring is sprung, at least in real estate. The spring market rolls right into the summer market, where you'll find slightly less inventory and slightly less competition. Summer can be a bit on the tricky side because people are often traveling and spending their money elsewhere. There is nothing wrong with buying a home in the summer compared to the spring, and there is still plenty of inventory. This brings us to fall, which is a relatively good time to be a buyer, as there is still inventory, but the competition has died down a little bit as well. Then we have winter, where we historically see low inventory, but this also means that there's less competition. When the temperatures drop, people often don't want to be moving boxes and packing up a home to move somewhere new. All in all, there really is not a bad time to buy. More so focus on when you're ready and what inventory levels and competition look like in your area or the area that you're looking to move to. Just like buying, there are some times that are better than others if you're looking to sell your home. You can sell year-round, and there are buyers year-round. When there's less inventory, that can be your friend in the winter months, but the spring market is almost always a coveted time to sell, as so many buyers that have been hibernating over the winter come out of the woodwork. But more importantly than when to sell, I would focus on preparing to sell. As part of my listing plan, I always want to present the house in its absolute best. Are there repairs that need to be made? Should you repaint certain rooms? Are there any major issues that should be addressed? We'll look into staging, professional photos and videos, and all the marketing that goes into getting the house sold quickly and for top dollar. A house that is well prepared for market will do better in a slower market than a home that is not ready in a faster market. I recently sold a home in Shoreline for over list price in under 4 days on the market. This house was able to sell for more because the seller trusted us to prepare the property, price it appropriately, and negotiate the multiple offers on her behalf. I'll do a full video on this in the near future to show you just how we did all that. Now, you've probably heard people talk about interest rates and their impact on the housing market. What I've done here is create a basic example to explain how rates and time impact the cost of a home. In this example, we'll look at the difference between buying a house at a higher interest rate today versus waiting 2 years at a lower rate. Our baseline is a $1 million house with a 20% down payment, a standard 30-year mortgage, and an annual appreciation of 8%. We are not calculating property taxes or homeowners insurance. Before I get started, I want to note year-over-year median home sales price on the east side, which is the greater Seattle area, were up 15% last month. So 8% is a lot lower than we typically see in our area, but is definitely higher than some other markets throughout the United States. Let's look at our baseline. A $1 million house with a $200,000 down payment, which makes it a loan of $800,000 at a 7% rate. This makes your monthly payments $5,322.42 or $63,869.04 annually. Now, fast forward 2 years, accounting for an 8% annual appreciation, that house is now worth $1,166,400, which means your down payment is $233,280, meaning you need an additional $330,280 in cash to be able to afford the 20% down payment. And your loan amount is $933,120. And now we're changing the interest rate to 5%, making your monthly payments $5,009.19, which would be $60,110.28 annually. Let's compare these two. The purchase price is up $166,400, but your monthly payments are down $313.23, which brings your annual payment savings to $3,758.76, which sounds great, right? But what is the actual cost of waiting? As we said, the home is up $166,400, and over the course of the 30-year loan term, you would have saved $79,482.81 by waiting for the lower interest rate at 5%. Let's look at that for a second. The savings per month is $313.23, which means your annual savings is $3,758.76, and over the course of 30 years, you save $122,762.81 in interest payments. Now, we add the initial down payment. At 7%, your down payment was $200,000, but at 5%, your down payment is up to $233,280. This means that over the entire course of the 30-year loan, with down payment and all interest paid on the loan, the total cost of the $1 million house at 7% is $2,116,071.19. And the total cost of the house at $1,166,400 at 5% is $2,036,588.37. Subtract the two and you see over the lifetime of the loan, the savings is $79,482.81 if you bought the house for a higher purchase price with a lower rate. Now, here is the most important question. At what point do you start seeing the savings? We take the $79,482.81 and divide it by the monthly savings of $313.23 to get $253.75, but we'll round that up to $254. That means that at month $254, you're seeing the savings of the lower rate. Convert that to years real quick by dividing by 12, and we get 21.17. That means that after 21 years and 2 months, it is a better deal to buy the house at the higher purchase price with the lower rate. Up to that point, it was a better deal to buy the house at the lower cost with the higher rate. This is a theoretical example. If interest rates do drop 2% or more, you will likely refinance to save a ton of money, especially if you do stay in the house for 21 years. Most people don't spend 30 years in their home. I think on average it's closer to 10 to 12 years before moving. And we don't know what interest rates will look like in 2 years. But this is some interesting math, especially if you consider buying at the 7% and then refinancing in 2 years to 5%, which would save you a significant amount. Obviously, there are so many factors at play here, and we cannot guarantee interest rates are going down, but we can guarantee home prices are going up. This is a simple example. This is not a full mortgage amortization schedule. That is something to talk to a lender about. This is a simple, somewhat dumbed down example of everything. This is not financial advice. Always speak with a lender about your specific situation before making any financial decisions. So, what do you think? Does seeing the math like that change your perception on waiting to buy? Or is 2025 the year that you purchase a home? If you were to ask me, I would ultimately say 2025 is a great time to buy. Take my earlier interest rate example as you will. I've said it before and I'll say it again, time in the market is better than timing the market. If you're ready to buy in 2025, do it. I know there was a lot in this video, but if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. If you have questions about how we calculated any of the numbers or want to see how today's figures impact you, reach out to me and we can schedule a call to discuss. As always, if you're looking to make any real estate moves in the greater Seattle area, I'm here to be a resource and help. My name is Bella Chafee-Lakich, and I'll see you in the next one.